Good morning, my friends. This morning I am out near Rathdowney, again, sort of in the Barney View area out in the Scenic Rim. It is almost sunrise. It's about 20 minutes or so till sunrise. The sky's pretty light by now, and I've just been driving around for quite a while trying to find a composition. Now, it is an area that I generally would say I know quite well, but I sort of thought I'd try for something new, but I'm not having a great deal of luck. So I think I might just quickly duck back to a nice spot I know and cruise around a little bit. The roads around here are pretty nice with often a little bit of space to pull over. So I might sort of pull over quite suddenly at times, but we'll see what we find. So I'm just going to use the GFX this morning. I'm not shooting film this morning. I did bring a couple of film cameras, but not for the purpose of this video. The reason I was potentially not going to use film cameras today is just time. My local lab at Camera House in Drapilli have a bit of a backlog at the moment, so it's just going to take them a little while to get film done. So if I make a video just shooting with the digital camera, then I might still get some nice photos, and it's not going to take quite so long to get it online. Anyway, that's enough from me. Let's see if we can find a photograph. So we've got this view out here this morning looking towards Mount Barney. I don't have a heap of colour in the sky. There's some clouds, and I've got this little water hole here in front of the mountain, and the mountain covered in clouds, so it's pretty nice. I'm not going to get any award-winning photos this morning, but we'll see if we can get, a nice photo or two and just have a nice time out in the country. So I'll show you my composition on the back of the screen here. It's pretty straightforward, just a portrait orientation, which I'll probably crop to a 4:5 ratio. I've just got a little water hole in front of the mountain, and you can see those trees as well. There's a tiny little bit of colour in some of the clouds above the mountain, so I better grab this shot now. I'm at ISO 100. I'm going to shoot this at f16. I've just better double check my focus, because this adapter sometimes, infinity focus, is actually just a little bit forward of infinity. I'm going to shoot at 1/5 of a second so that I can maintain that highlight detail. And here we go, first shot of the morning. So there's not a great deal of colour in the clouds. Maybe as the sun gets a bit closer to rising, we might get a little bit more, or maybe not. I'm going to keep a bit of an eye on it. There's a little bit of colour in some of the clouds looking towards Mount Maroon. What I might do is even switch to landscape orientation. So switching to landscape orientation, shooting Mount Maroon, I just get a bit more of that cloud with that amazing colour. If we look over at Mount Barney, there's a little bit of colour there as well. So I might even switch the telephoto lens on now, the 100mm Olympus lens. There's a little bit of cool colour out just behind the mountain in some of the low cloud over there. Okay, so I've got the telephoto on. We're starting to get some cool colour in the sky. And it's going to be obviously a little bit of a tighter frame. I'm going to go as similar of a composition as I can, but obviously much tighter. I'm going to turn down my exposure a little bit to keep that highlight detail because I do have enough dynamic range in this camera. Double check infinity focus. Okay, 1/10 of a second, ISO 100, f16 with the Olympus Zuiko 100mm f2.8. I really like this lens, especially on the GFX. It's super sharp and has really great coverage of the sensor. And that's a much tighter shot, but I quite like that composition. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a panorama with the 100mm, just while there's some cool colour there. So 1/10 of a second, ISO 100, f16. So I just did 5 shots for that panorama, a nice long tight shot with both Mount Barney and that little watering hole in it again. Some nice colour in the sky, so hopefully that one's pretty nice. So I've moved to the other side of the road where I think I can get a nice composition or two in the direction the sun's going. The sun's rising. There was some beautiful light a second ago, but while I was setting up my vlogging camera, the sun sort of disappeared a little bit behind it. I'm going to get the camera on the tripod though, just wait, see if it comes back. It's a little valley, and if the light comes back, it should wash over it beautifully. So I'm wanting to try for a panorama out here in this beautiful field. The sun just over there. There's also this lovely tree down here which might make a nice shot. So I've just really got to watch for the light because it's sort of a little cool at some times when it's coming through the clouds. I might grab it now and reduce my exposure and bring up the shadows. So 1/20 of a second, f16 and ISO 100. Okay, so that's that panorama done. And in the meantime, I might have a look for a couple of other quick compositions. So I've just finished up at that first spot that I stopped at with that look towards Mount Barney and Mount Maroon and the valley on the other side. I'm just going to head back along that road, I think it's called Barney View Road, a little bit and see what I find. I know there are some nice spots along here. I'll just see if I come up with anything nice. Sorry if this bit of footage doesn't look very good. I'm basically shooting right into the sun. But I was just cruising along and I just had to pull over. I'm just going to hand hold the GFX with the 35mm on because I'm just right near this field. There's this quite large bull standing in front of me and he looks really cool. So I just want to grab a shot of him with the 35mm and the mountain in the background. He seems okay with my presence. He was a bit unsure at first. Nah. He moved too far away. So I shot him, but he was moving away, so I'm not sure if the photo's any good. I might throw it up anyway. That's the challenge sometimes when shooting an old manual focus lens and everything manual on a modern camera. I have to zoom in to make sure I've got good focus, and it just takes a bit too much time with a subject that can move like that. Hopefully the photo looks fairly nice. It would have been better if he was looking at me, but that's how it goes. So while I am hand holding, I've just spotted some nice light over the other side of the road from where the bull was. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be a great composition. I'm going to stop down to f11. We're focusing at infinity. Now I'm going to expose for the sky. So I'm doing 1/60th of a second with the Olympus 35mm shift lens again. And that's just a handheld roadside shot. If I was shooting on the tripod, I'd probably stop down a little bit more, but there's becoming enough light that it's not too big of a deal. I've been driving around for a little while, just trying to find any cool compositions or anything that grabs my eye. There's been some cool kangaroos and wallabies, but I haven't been able to get photos of them. But I've just stopped at a little area called the Barney View Reserve, and across the road there's a couple of cool old sort of abandoned, I guess, or falling apart farm buildings. They look very cool. I don't know that I can get a really good shot of them because they're a little bit higher up than me. But there's, you know, a couple of mountains in the background. So I'm going to try and just handhold a shot with the wide angle on the GFX and see how we go. I'm going to shoot at f8 for these ones. See if I can get any of those mountains in the background. I'm going f8, ISO 100 and 1/200th of a second. Because it's so bright now, I can quite easily handhold this camera, even without stabilization. It's just beautiful out here this morning. I know I haven't got any amazing photos, which I do apologize for, but it's just nice getting out, having some time to yourself in the quiet, the clear. It's been a pretty busy week, so a bit of time to reflect and sort of reset a little bit. Hoping to have a nice quiet day today with the family, and we're going to go for a nice drive to Stanthorpe tomorrow. I know I was only there last week when I went out to Girrawee National Park, but we're going to go to Stanthorpe and maybe have lunch at the brewery. So it should be a nice family-based, relaxing weekend. But I thought if we're having a busy day tomorrow, I should probably try and get out and do some photography this morning, even if I don't get any really great shots. It's just nice to come out and try. Sometimes it can be a way to earmark compositions for your next visit, or when you might get better conditions. I know one of the spots I've been to this morning, I've been out to now 3 times, I think, maybe 4 stopovers there, and I'll keep going back. It's that first spot where I had that shot looking towards Mount Barney and then the panorama, because I know one day I'm just going to get the right conditions. I have got some good conditions there once before, and I'm going to keep trying, because with landscape photography you often have to visit the same spot several times to get the shot you want, and I'm quite okay with that. I hope you guys are too. I don't want you to be bored watching the same thing over and over, but I also just like to get out and share my adventures with you. Hopefully you enjoy them.
And that was the end of my landscape photography for the morning. The light was starting to get a bit harsh, and I thought it was time to go and have some breakfast and a coffee. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'd really love it if you leave any comments, questions or feedback down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.